good. It was a long, tiring day, but we're finally here. It was so much like,
Finally here after so much struggle. So, do you have school? What's going on? How's your life?
yeah, I have 2 more days of school left. It ends on Tuesday, thank God, finally. I'm not getting homework these days because the term's ending
You're
and
lucky.
waiting the term grade, so that's amazing.
Mhm. Okay, so let's jump right into the questions. So, the first thing I really wanted to ask you is basically, getting 1,000 followers on Instagram is not as big of a deal as it is on getting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. So, when you got 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, how did you feel?
I was very proud and excited. Like I've been on YouTube since 2013, which is like what 7 years. So I always had this
Yeah.
dream of, getting famous and living like a celebrity. And even though like 1,000 subscribers isn't that much, it was still a big deal for me. And I felt really accomplished knowing that I even got through this little milestone, because you have to start somewhere. And 1,000 subscribers was a
Right.
huge deal
So
for me.
while we're talking on, being out like public social media influencers, content creators and everything, what are some things you've had to face like a lot, or even in some portions you had to face like because of being in the public eye? Like,
Okay, so as in a negative way, I received harsh criticism, being insecure and uncomfortable because of like constantly being in the public eye. But honestly, this helped in increasing my self-confidence and making me stronger. But like this was like the negativity wasn't the only thing I faced while being in the public eye. There was already also like multiple positive aspects of being in the public eye. For example, okay, so I'm a middle child. Um, so this isn't the case for all families, but as a middle child, I felt like I wasn't receiving the same amount of attention compared to my other siblings, and I just felt unloved in like some way.
okay,
So being like on social media, having these like amazing followers, I always like read my DMs, and there's like so many positive comments about how people just adore me and like love me and they care for me, and it just makes me so happy. It puts such a huge smile on my face. Like they're always telling me how I inspire them to be more confident, and it just makes me so happy you know so that's like the
right.
aspect of being in the public eye, because there's so many amazing people that just are there for you. They're like family, one big, huge family.
There's good, there's good and bad.
I feel like when meeting a person, your first impression should never be your last impression, because it doesn't reveal anything about the person's personality. Because of all the pressure
Right.
that's built inside their head of that they overthink stuff, and it just makes the person uncomfortable and not want to share more, everything like that. Yeah.
Right. How depression is a stigma in our society, and it's very much like frowned upon because people just frown upon depression. They think it's not a real thing, you're just trying to catch attention. And how there is a fear of being judged. Like log kya kahenge is a very very popular term, especially used in Pakistan, and people are really scared to be being judged all around the world. So what do you think is the best way to maintain your mental health and also avoiding those harsh comments? How is it the best way to recover from all of that?
Okay. So yeah, depression is one of the biggest taboos in our society, which are often made into a very big deal, and other times, sadly, they're not acknowledged at all and are frowned upon as a proper illness. Depression is
Right.
a clinically diagnosed illness, and I completely agree with your point on us having like gloomy days in which our fear of being judged is intensified. Um,
Right.
so on those days, I think the best thing to do is keep a good mental health, keep a stable mental health. You need to live a healthy lifestyle, such as exercising, eating healthy and clean. And for me personally, when my room is less cluttered, I feel as if like my mind is also less cluttered. So keeping like a clean environment, in my opinion, also helps to keep a peaceful state of mind. And on the gloomy days, I usually don't pressurize myself to go in the public eye and post on social media, but rather I take that time to improve myself with self care.
Right.
I take that time for myself. So I would usually like post less, keep to myself on those days because I don't have the motivation to post. basically.
So basically, like the social media detox is something that you stand by
Mhm.
because of the public eye.
Yeah.
We're almost at the end of this. So, any advice that you'd want to give other creators or people in general, related to social anxiety or depression or just anything in general?
Um, the main advice that I would like to give a person is just to have fun with it. Don't take it too seriously. Don't take the harsh comments to your heart. Okay. Um, you shouldn't overwork yourself and pressurize yourself to the point where your mental health is completely shattered. You should just have fun with everything you're doing. Take it as don't take it like don't negatively impact your life. Take it as a positive way. Take it in a positive way. You know.
How do you think is like, these times especially are very tough. We've been in a global pandemic for over like 6 7 months. So a lot of people have, lost their jobs. People have, become like really upset emotionally because of a lot of things, and not just, just the pandemic. There's so much other things that are happening in people's lives. So is there anything else that you'd like, because this pandemic is still there, like, the cure might just almost be here, but it's going to be there, unfortunately, for a few months at least. So
Especially
is there something that you'd like to say? Yeah. So is there something you'd like to say to your followers, to mine, or the people who do not follow us, who should? And do you want to say something to them, something like motivational or something like that?
I want to say that inshallah, we'll get through this. Just have to keep a calm state of mind. The entire world has come to a complete stop right now, and many people are passing away sadly. But inshallah, we'll get through it. We all have to stick together, be there for each other, and yeah, inshallah, hopefully by next year everything will be back to normal. We can go to school because I know this is putting a huge toll on our daily lives. We have our
Yeah.
school is completely changed. It's turned all everything's turned online. Yeah, and I know it's putting a toll on our academic progress.
And
And
like in our last year of school is just like, sad. Like our entire year got ruined. There's so much, you have like expectations, you have plans for your last year of school, and now everything's online, so nothing of that can happen. So, you know, everyone needs to stay safe. Wear your mask,
yeah, take
maintain
care.
the distance, take precautions. So, with that, the last question that I'd like to ask you is about a very general thing and specifically related to content creators and social media influencers. How do you keep yourself motivated to post regularly or often? And why is that you've stopped posting on YouTube?
It is because you lose motivation once you don't get the amount of views that you tried working hard for. I take a week long to edit my YouTube videos, and then I post it, and the next day you barely get any views. So you lose motivation. You're like, nobody even wants to watch this, so why should I even bother making anything? You know. Um, so that's it. It kind of makes me lazy and puts me at the gives me that mindset that, oh, what's the sense of posting if nobody's even going to watch it? Then why am I working this hard for nothing? you know but then there's some days where people just DM you and saying that, oh, why don't you post anymore? I missed your YouTube videos. And yes, like that gives me a little more motivation. But you don't get the views that you worked for. You just and it just flops. Your videos just flop. You just don't feel like posting anymore at that time.
This makes all right. So like yeah, guys, everyone who's watching this should engage on our posts and go subscribe to James' channel.
And it takes one
Like it's
second to subscribe, one
exactly.
second to like a video, 1 second to like a picture.
Exactly. Like the algorithm of YouTube and Instagram is so beyond ruined right now that we need all the likes, the saves, the comments, the subscriptions, the follows that we can get. So everyone watching this, please go support both of us
Yes.
because we need it. The motivation because soon enough we'll not post anything then. So yeah, thank you for joining me today, and I hope like everyone who watched this got something to take back from this video, some information. Maybe the people watching this saw another side of you, and hopefully people enjoy this, because if they should like this. It's important. So we know that you like this. So yeah.